All right, folks. Happy Sunday. It's literally 20 minutes, well, 19 minutes before the kickoff of the Super Bowl, and it's a big event. It's a big event. As a matter of fact, if you don't know it, we have two flying banners, that who actually made a publicity, advertising about AMC stock going to the moon. I mean, this might be something totally insignificant according to few people, but I mean, this is a Super Bowl, man. Companies are spending $1 billion on this thing just because they know how big is the traffic driven when it comes to the attention around the Super Bowl. So maybe we'll get to some additional buying pressure, maybe not. We don't know. But actually, I wanted to talk about something way more relevant, way more important, and I still believe few of us are actually paying attention to this. And it's actually to do with the famous brackets, all right? The brackets, at which price are you supposed to start seeing if it makes sense for you to sell or not to sell, all right? To kind of maybe trim half of your position, or maybe third of your position, or maybe just a quarter, or maybe just a tenth. Nobody knows. And this is precisely one of the biggest mistake most of retail investors will make into AMC short squeeze. So it's been almost going to 14 months now, all right? So you didn't hold through this only to come this far. You didn't come this far only to come this far. And by that I mean, well, it's been a long journey. And because it's been a long journey, let's see how we can really maximize and optimize, because this is really the purpose of any play in the stock market. You want to buy as low as possible, but you want to sell as low, as high, sell as high as possible. All right. So we all know there is gonna be certain levels when it comes to the share price. By when that price will be hit, maybe it's a $80 price, maybe it's a $100, maybe it's a $120, maybe it's lesser than that. But truth of the matter is, when you take into consideration all the short shares, synthetics, the naked shorts, not even counting fear of missing out, not even counting, the funds, above us, not even counting all the suits wanting to get a piece of this. I mean, literally, there's going to come to a point where even the big short sellers like the Simplex Trading or the Citadel LLC, is gonna be too much to bear. I mean, the pressure on the margin, especially in this tight bipolar market, all right, it's gonna be very difficult for those shorts to continue to be able to maintain those positions, especially as the price continues to go high. So there's gonna be a killing price, and that killing price is gonna be the triggering price, fueling the the skyrocket, the rocket to go to the moon. All right. So nobody knows exactly, but we have kind of we can speculate about maybe being around the hundreds. All right, maybe a little bit lower than that. Now, when that hits, there's gonna be additional events, additional buying pressure, as because when a short seller closes his position, he's actually buying the real shares. But because there are so many fake shares out there, it's going to be really tough to actually get the real shares. And that's how many people around, the community, with the ape community, are expecting it to be something that will run many weeks, or many days, but possibly many weeks. All right. So pushing the share price higher and higher and higher. So when it comes to the brackets, I think everybody's expecting these to go from 100 to 500 to 500 to 1,000 to 1,000 to 2,000 to 2,000 to 10,000, 10,000 to X, Y, Z, whatever that number is in your mind, all right? But in reality, things might be a little bit different. Why? Because first of all, it's going to be what we call trade. You already know it, all right? Not a suspension per se, but when a share price, and this is precisely what I was working not a couple of years ago, 10 years ago, when I was working with the New York Stock Exchange. The way a market company like the NICE, or the NASDAQ, the way they work, they have what we call circuit breakers, all right? This is alerts that the regulator and even the company itself needs to put in order to protect all the market from either breaking or some investors being caught up brutally, all right? Whether in the way down or the way up. So technically, when the share price is supposed to go to 50% in a matter of minutes, boom, it has to get halted. So those halts going through in the midst of the short squeeze technically are going to have an effect on kind of finding a balance between the buying pressure or not the buying pressure. So in the initial stage of the short covering, there's going to be so much buying pressure because of the amount of short shares that needs to be covered, that needs to be bought by these short sellers. Of course, the share price is going to go as quick as possible, but in a very short amount of time. And because of that, we can expect to have a lot of trading halts. But does that mean necessarily that it's going to be something detrimental to the price going higher? No. Why? Because there is still buying pressure. Till the moment the shorts buy all the shares, the real shares out there, you can expect the share price to continue to rise. But on top of that, you also have other events. The fear of missing out, the day traders, the swing traders, other people that will be chasing the pump, all right, that were not in AMC and suddenly decide, oh, finally, this wasn't a myth. These guys were true all around, all year long, so maybe now is the time. Let's double down, all right? So when that happens, it's going to continue to push the price higher and higher. To which limit, nobody knows. Nobody knows. But here comes the very interesting part. You cannot expect me. You cannot expect Lou. You cannot expect anybody else there on YouTube. You cannot even expect a financial advisor to tell you which is the selling price that's going to be your selling price. Why? And I explained it many times, but it's such an important point that I feel like we need to double, triple, quadruple down on this ahead of time. Your financial position, your personal debt position, your personal family household has nothing to do with the retail investor or the ape sitting next to you. Why? Because only you knows exactly what is your magical price. Let not greed make you lose what you were entitled to get when a certain price hits. By that I mean, if $1,000 a share, it's your selling price. By that I mean, if this price is really the price at which all your financial problems and your financial dreams will be covered, then does it really matter to risk that $1,000 a share losing 500 less than that, or potentially losing everything? Because truth of the matter is, I mean, I don't have no issue, and I posted many videos explaining how possible it is for AMC to reach 100,000. But you also have to take into consideration, when you buy a share or when you sell a share at a certain price, it's because somebody is buying it on the other side. So with all this money that will need to go out to the retail investors owning the real shares or AMC shares, do you really think there's going to be somebody at 100,000 or even at 50,000 willing to be able to buy those shares? I don't know. I don't have that answer because I cannot tell you the future. All right. So I guess my point is, and this is going to be the end of the video, do not let the herd or the community dictate what can be your gateway to financial freedom just because you want to do exactly what everybody else is doing, because we are all different and unique at the same time. All right. So I'm just here to kind of give you my point of view, as anybody else is, because I don't care how expert you are, how experienced you are, which algorithm you're using, which AI, which tool you're using, which connections you have on Wall Street. You cannot simply tell me what is going to be the price of AMC just in literally 12 hours. So how much more in who knows when these things don't happen? So the ball is in your hand, man. Don't drop it. Don't drop it. This is too big for you to be stupid with this kind of money. All right?